Welcome to StoneDeks Systems. My name is Bart Stuchell. I am the inventor of the SilcaGrate. The SilcaGrate is 16 inches by 18 inches. It's made of a very strong honeycomb grate. It's ICC certified in the state of Florida, California, and the United States. We currently distribute this product in North America, Australia, and New Zealand. We are in the process of transforming wood decks to stone decks all over the world. Today we're going to talk about leveling a deck. This is just one video of a series of training videos we're going to be doing in the months ahead. So today let's talk about the standard joist structure, so when you're going to put stone on a deck. We all know that boards bend and composite lumber bends, but stone does not bend. So leveling your deck is very critical. We know standard deck construction is 16 inches on center floor joist. That's standard throughout the United States. However, we do know that there's a few select areas in the United States and North America that you may be required to put your joist 8 inch on center, and that's very acceptable with StoneDeks systems. We recommend that you have a freestanding deck. That means you do not use a cleat against the house. You don't fasten that fascia board against your house. We want it to be freestanding, which typically means you got to put 3 or 4 posts in front of the house, and you keep a gap between the house and your deck. Feel free to cantilever that deck over to the house. 12 inches, 8 inches, something in that range is quite acceptable to cantilever over to that house, so therefore your post is in good solid soil. Once you get all your floor joists installed properly, as you know, with the crown up, and we do know that even with the crown up, sometimes your decks are not level. It's very important when you're doing a stone deck that your deck is level. So therefore, you check with your level, check it across. I even recommend taking a string across corners and take a shim that you on equal on each side and make sure that your deck is level. For example, make sure this is level, good. You see here, that's a high joist. See how this is going to rock? That will actually transfer through the SilcaGrate. Let me show you what I mean. So you put the SilcaGrate on the joist, will be the next step that you will install, and you'll see what I'm talking about on how this grate will transfer the unlevelness of that deck and how that will wobble, okay? So it's very important because your stone goes on here next and your stone will wobble on that. So it's very important that your deck is level when you're doing a stone deck. Now, after you have all your joists installed and leveled, planed off, the strings run across, and you are confident your deck is level and you have a pitch away from your house, the next preferred method that the StoneDeks Systems recommend is you put tape on top of your joist. The tape on top of your joist prevents the rot from taking place. Any beam that you have on the horizontal surface you should be putting, and also you should be putting tape around your between your bracket and your womanized lumber so that the corrosion doesn't take place between the two. The chemical reaction, we don't want to happen. So once you start putting the tape down on your joist and your beams, you just simply peel the back off of that tape, you lay the tape down, and you rub it on. This is very sticky tape. You'll be very pleased with it, and now this will give you many more years of life on your deck system. As you're considering the construction of your deck, the threshold height between the top of your joist and your threshold is very, very important. This being your threshold, this is the top of your joist. So now after you put your tape on the top of your joist, the tape helps preserve your wood joist. It keeps it from rotting on top. Then you have the SilcaGrate that's 1.5 inches, and then you have your paver. Your paver can be 1 inch, it can be 3 inches. So that's why it's important that you understand the height of your joist to your threshold height. So therefore, you leave that height to calculate the right distance, because you want that stone to end up exactly where you want that stone. So therefore, if you want it to be flush with the threshold, do your math accordingly. So SilcaGrate's 1.5 inches, your paver's 1.5 inches, you want your joist height to be 3 inches below the finished floor height. Next, we're going to talk to you about how we can install the SilcaGrate on your perfectly level deck.